Hey you guys, it's Monica and welcome back. So today I'm going to be attempting, yeah, we're going to call it an attempt to make a Brite marble tumbler. So we're going to start off with our swirl design. So we're going to be using the glitters Hunter, that is Starfire. Then we have our other Teen Titan coming up, this Miss Raven, pretty purple. And then the last color we're going to be using is Deep Waters. I just really had I feel like I'm always using like hollows and chunkies and iridescents. And I just hadn't used any just plain metallics in a while. And so I'm like, okay, side note, look at my nails. Y'all, look at this design this lady put on my middle finger. She phrased it like, oh, I want to give you a phoenix tail. I was like, ooh, a phoenix tail. That sounds exotic. Put it on my nail, right? I looked down at my nail. Baby took me back to 2010. I said I haven't had a hand design like this since at least the latest I may have had a hand design like that maybe is 2013. I know for sure since not 2012. I said, did this lady just put this old ass design on my nail? Then she had the audacity to bring me the receipt. The receipt said $90. I said, I'm not coming back. I've only been coming here about 6 months and I ain't coming back. Because what the heck? I was pissed. I said, now I'm going to have to file this design off and recoat my nails myself. I craft, so I already got everything I need. And I used to do my own nails, as y'all know. But yeah, a phoenix tail. Girl, where's the tail? Because this looks like a 1994 hand design. I'm not going to Freaknik. I'm not attending Freaknik spring break. No. Pissed. I was pissed. Anyways, back to the video. And so I'm just going to be doing a swirl design with Mod Podge. Y'all know I like to glitter with Mod Podge because I be messing up. And so I don't do like an extreme like angled swirl. Mine is more like a diagonal swirl. And pretty much how I do it is that I hold the cup slightly tilted downward. So top of the cup up, bottom of the cup more facing me. And that's kind of how I do it to try to keep it as contained as possible. But always remember when you're doing your swirls, if glitter gets in a place you don't want it, just go back over it with Mod Podge and glitter right on top of it. And you will see me do that in here a little bit. So yeah, so sorry I've been gone. Oh, y'all, subscribe. I gotta start telling y'all earlier in the video because I see y'all don't be watching the whole thing. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both of them are also Period 6 Designs. But yeah, been gone for a little while. Honestly, y'all have been showing out so much and supporting me and Period 6 Glitter like so heavy that I literally spend my evenings filling orders, restocking products, restocking rhinestones and glitter. Like I literally haven't had time to film and work full time. So the business has just really taken off and taken over. I'm so thankful, so grateful. You guys are amazing. So I appreciate that so much. But unfortunately, the videos have just fallen by the wayside. And so finally because like the business had taken over my craft desk. Crazy enough, I had so much stuff just sitting there on my craft desk because I had run out of space. And so I couldn't craft. So finally, once I got everything organized and together, I had to go buy a whole new shelf, a five shelf unit. So thankful, so thankful. So yeah, anyways, back to the video. Thank you. Though that's how it looks after one layer. As you can see, there were some places that the glue always dries around the rim really quickly and I move really slow. If I didn't move so slow, I could probably get away with doing one layer of glitter all the time, but I move extremely slow. And I just do another one. So I waited an hour and I'm coming right back in, right on top of those. Of course, you don't have to try to get it like perfect, but just coming right back in and doing it again. So yeah, putting a nice, and I always feel like the second coat, the glue doesn't dry as fast because like it's not like on bare surface like the first layer is. So yeah. And I did the bottom, I know I didn't mention this yet, but I did the bottom green because I only had one green stripe and one blue stripe because I freehanded. I didn't really measure how wide the stripe should be because I didn't really care as long as there was at least one of each color. And I knew I didn't want them like super, super wide. So only doing one wasn't going to work. It would have been nice if there was two, but there wasn't. So yeah, we're good. So you can see right there going over it and just coming back in. So everyone swirls different. Some people swirl to the left, some people swirl to the right. I feel like I swirl the opposite way of what most people swirl, just because that's just more comfortable for me. So yeah. And sorry, like y'all keep having to see my ashy hands. I'm I don't know. I went back to the overhead angle. Y'all let me know if y'all like this better than kind of looking over my shoulder. I don't know. I'm always up and down about what I like. And so that's how it looks. When I saw this, oh, this is so pretty. Like, just epoxy it and move on, because like this is just super gorgeous. So yeah, I was really happy with this combination. I thought it looked really good on here. All right, so at this point I had I had sealed in all the glitter with a layer of Counterculture DIY Quick Coat. I did that off camera because it's super boring, but that's what the bottle looks like. And I will leave a link to it below. I'll link everything below. And the cup is from Stainless Steel Depot. All right, so let's start the Brite tone. I do use a glove when I'm wearing Brite tone. Y'all know I'm not one to hold back. So just to keep it a buck with y'all, someone in the comments, Heather, hey Heather, how you doing, girl? She had made like a comment about Brite tone. And you know, I think anybody who's had a bad experience with Brite tone is always because of their customers. It's not necessarily because of the product. And we were kind of just going back and forth, and she was saying how, you know, you really should be using it with the glove based on their own SDS, which is their safety data sheet. And so I went and looked. And so funny enough, what I discovered is Brite tone, and again, please feel free to do your own research. The statements I'm making are based on my own research. Brite tone says that you do not have to wear safety equipment because Brite tone is a chemical. It is comprised of chemicals. You can look at their safety data sheet and their material sheet, and they are chemicals. The thing is that these chemicals, their composition makes it such that you are not at risk for an allergic reaction until being exposed to the product for about 8 hours. The thing is, you're not going to be exposed to this for 8 hours. You know, if you're doing one layer on a cup, you know, 5 minutes. And so that's why they say you don't need to use a glove. But at the end of the day, you should still be using something to protect yourself, because y'all say, oh, I use it because I don't want them chemicals. Baby, this is a chemical. Read the composition of it. Literally, it's because it's a polyacrylic, which is, they have very similar ingredients to polyacrylic, and their safety data sheets look mighty similar if you go and read them. But again, y'all know I'm not one to hold back. I give it to you straight up and down. You can take it or leave it. You can be mad at what I say. All nasty comments will get you blocked, because I'm to the point in my life where I'm blocking all negative energy and I'm matching energy. So if you come out your face, to know me is to know I'm coming right back at you. Anyways, so yeah, so I do use a glove with my Brite tone because you should. Boom. And that's that on that. And so after 5 layers, I am going to do a nice little sanding job. I'm using 400 grit sandpaper. I do prefer to use a finer sandpaper when I'm working with Brite tone, because Brite tone takes a full 30 days to cure. So if it's, excuse that, if it's only, so I like to sand after it's been sitting overnight. So for example, I did my last layer about 12 hours ago at this point. So it's a little harder than it would be if I were to sand after the 3 or 4 hours that they advise you to normally wait. So yeah, and you should be wearing some type of protective mask when you are sanding as well. Read the safety data sheet. Stop just going off what people in the Facebook group tell you. But over here, we're the common sense group. So y'all know we got it on lock. So I'm not worried about my regulars that watch it. If you're new here, hello, subscribe. Welcome. So yeah, so then we're going to keep going. I wanted to do the marble layer with this layer, but I'm like, let's wait. Let's do one more layer, like get it nice, and then we'll do the marble layer after this. So doing one more layer, and then we're going to get into the marbling part, and y'all are going to watch me struggle. And so I've never done a marble cup with Brite tone, and I really wanted to do one, and I wanted to take y'all on that journey with me, but for the life of me could not remember how the heck you did a marble. And I've done them with epoxy, of course. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to like paint the lines on. Then I'm going to like take my finger and I'm going to smear them, and it's going to be wonderful, right? So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let me put the lines where I want the lines to go. And I'm only showing y'all this. This part is pure entertainment. Don't take any of this part as what you should be doing. Honestly, this video is all pure entertainment, because at this point, it went all downhill from here. And I don't suggest anyone doing what I did. Only stick around if you want to laugh at me. And so I'm like, boom, bada boom. Okay, so I put a little Brite tone in a cup. And I'm like, oh, like in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to just smear it and it's going to look how I want it to look. And y'all see what it looked like. I'm panicking now and I'm reaching for everything on my desk. I'm like, take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. So I grabbed a paper towel and I just wet it with water. And I am removing all of that. So the good thing is with acrylic paint, as you know, you can just wipe it off with water. Because it's only been about 2 minutes and it looks a mess. All right. So we're going to try again. So what I actually went and did is I watched my own video doing an epoxy marble to see how I did it. And I'm like, okay, usually with Brite tone and epoxy, it's pretty much the same. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to put a layer of Brite tone on the cup. And we're starting good. Sorry about my ashy hands. I already told you I wash my hands before I start crafting, so my hands naturally be ashy. Sorry it's up in the camera. Like I said, my heart was already racing from the epic fail before, so now I'm on edge, and now I'm like stooping over the cup, not knowing what I'm doing and what's going on. So you got to excuse me. So getting that nice and even, letting it sit for a minute, let it even out just a little bit, and let's see what we can do. So what I had did, I mixed, it wasn't even 50-50. It was probably, because you don't want it that watery, I would say 75% of white acrylic paint, 25% like a few little drops of Brite tone. Because like in my mind, I'm like, the marble should look like clouds. It should be fluffy. Like I want it to be fluffy, clouds floating in the sky, like an angel could be sitting upon this cup. Like that's the look I was going for, because that's what it's supposed to look like. And as you can see, I'm wiping away. I don't know. I'm just panicking. I'm just panicking. It's all bad. I feel like this always happens. Y'all know this always happens the first time I do something. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm going to keep going and keep putting these in here until I like where they are. Because I'm like, okay, this is going somewhere. This is looking a lot better, MJ. Like, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just keep going. Trust the process. I kept literally, when I tell y'all, if I were to unmute the audio, y'all would hear me saying, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Just keep trusting the process. You have to trust the process, Mom, because you just have to. Because at this point, you filmed this whole video and the people miss you. I miss y'all. We miss each other. Like, they want to hear from you. Just keep going. Trust it, trust it, trust it. And so I hope I'm not the only one that talks to myself when I craft. Lord, please don't let me be a psychopath. Anyways, and so I'm like, okay, this looks good. And so there were some spots like that one that it was started going all over the place that I just didn't like. So honestly, what I started doing, because it still wasn't looking as cloudy as I wanted it to look, I actually put like a little bit of Brite tone on like the cup again. And I started to try to fluff them out because I'm like, they not moving. Because you know when you do epoxy, you heat it up and it moves around the cup and it like does its own swirl. And so now I just put drops. You can see where like the drops are leaving a trail. I put drops where the white is to get it to fluff out. And so I don't recommend doing it like this because, again, that looks okay. But what I ended up doing was that I took a wet paper towel and I'm actually cleaning up where it moved to, because it's not as thick as epoxy, so it runs a lot faster around the cup than an epoxy would, because epoxy it's not going to move that much, whereas Brite tone is like water, like that thing is circling the cup. And so I'm just cleaning it up, and this is what I found, honestly, that just worked for me, and this created the look that I liked. And so again, it's the long way about it. I don't know. This is one of those videos where all suggestions on how to get the marble right is welcome. It has to be the hood way, bootleg way, the ghetto way, because I don't do things right over here. But we want to do things that work, and that turned out cute. And I felt like at this point, it was finally looking how I wanted to look, especially when I started cleaning it up, still using, a couple drops here and there to get it moving. But yeah, you're like, aren't you wiping the Brite tone off the cup? I am wiping off that bottom layer, but that's fine because now it's not moving anymore and creating those streaks. So yeah, long way around it, but like I said, we're gonna struggle through it, and at the end of the day, the part that matters is that we like how it looks. And so I was satisfied with how it looks, and so I'm just gonna keep going until I'm good with it. Keep using that Brite tone to drop it in there and kind of spread those and fluff them out a little bit. And yeah, that's how I did it. And so then After this dried, I gave it the full 3 hours to still dry. Then I came back in and I did a pretty thick coat of Brite Tone to seal that in, and then I did 3 more coats, and so in total there are 10 coats of Brite Tone on this cup, and this is what I ended up with. So here is the cup, and so I am actually pretty satisfied with how this turned out. It got the look that I was going for. I took the long way to get there, but it worked out. The thing about using the acrylic paint with the Brite Tone, and when some of the water hit it, it cracked in some spots, and so I'm going to show you a spot where it cracked, but I think it works. Just so you can be aware of that is something that happens if you do it the bootleg way like I did, right there. So that's how it'll look, but I still think it looks good. So if you like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Period6Designs. Follow me on TikTok at Period6Designs. Subscribe here to the channel, Period6Designs. Check out our website, period6glitter.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.